Does she need to improve drastically in terms of her efficiency, in particular inside the restricted area, month and a half, leading up to the Olympic break? And since then, one, because her assist numbers have been off the charts.
That it is a foregone conclusion. Certainly, Caitlin Clark is the favorite, and I actually have her as my Rookie of the Year.
Breaking news, Chennedy Carter won't be playing against the Indiana Fever, but here's the kicker. It's not just about Carter. The Chicago Sky is dealing with a COVID outbreak. This isn't your average player absence. It's a curveball that could change the whole season, and with rookies like Caitlin Clark making noise, the WNBA is about to get wild. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Another player star is growing quickly while Carter is out. The league is enthralled with her since she is swift and skilled. What is it about this rookie that has analysts and fans alike talking? Let's examine the phenomenon of Caitlin Clark. There have been rumors circulating about a rookie who is completely upending the WNBA. Now that the murmurs are growing into roars, Caitlin Clark is the name that everyone is talking about. Folks, this isn't just another gifted rookie. We are discussing a player whose abilities are regarded as unprecedented within the league. Clark is lightning in a pair of sneakers. She's not simply speedy. Defenders are falling behind her on the court due to her speed and agility. Experienced players are struggling to keep up with Clark's rapid pace, regardless of whether she is in possession of the ball or not. The shocking thing is that her skill set extends beyond only her physical prowess. You would assume that when confronted with the media circus, a rookie would be trembling with fear, not Clark. This young talent is handling interviews like a seasoned pro with years of experience. People are wondering, what's her secret, since she seems to be channeling the elegance of a veteran? As it happens, Clark's media acumen isn't entirely coincidental. During her time as an Iowa college student, she received extensive instruction. Now that she's in the major leagues, the mentoring she got there is really paying off. But let's face it, if you can't prove it in court, all the media training in the world is useless. And she does support it. Clark is rewriting the rules, not just participating in the game. Her special combination of passing and scoring is unlike anything the WNBA has ever seen. She is pushing the league to conform to her rather than merely fitting in.
That it is a foregone conclusion. Certainly, Caitlin Clark is the favorite, and I actually have her as my Rookie of the Year. To illustrate why Angel Reese is getting as many double-doubles, 22 double-doubles, incredible, haven't seen it since Tina Charles.
I wonder how many of her own misses she actually gets. And what the Sports and Information Group came back with is,
sure, she's good for a rookie, but let's not get carried away. You may be thinking at this point, put that thinking away, since there's more to Clark's buzz than just rabid admirers. Here, we are dealing with genuine analysts, people who have witnessed the greatest of the best come and leave. Not only are these professionals impressed, but they're also beginning to use some fancy language. Phrases such as MVP, yes, you did indeed hear that. People are already speculating about Clark's chances of winning the league's highest individual award in her inaugural season. Not convinced by me? What if WNBA legend Rebecca Lobo herself spoke to us? Lobo isn't one to believe meaningless platitudes, but even she believes Clark might be mentioned as the MVP by the conclusion of the season. What were her exact words? I would not be shocked if we found Caitlin Clark in that conversation by the end of the year. The impact she has had on that franchise and the numbers that she's putting up. Let's be clear now, we're not suggesting Clark is the clear favorite to win MVP. There is still a ton of basketball to be played, and the league is brimming with amazing talent. However, the very fact that we're discussing a rookie at all, that is truly unique. If you thought the WNBA's rookie sensation was the greatest story, think again. The league is facing a curveball that makes MVP races seem easy. What's going on in Chicago that has coaches, players, and fans on edge? Not because of mind games or trash language, but because the Chicago Sky's locker room is under siege. We are discussing COVID-19, the unseen foe that has everyone on edge. Yes, the virus that brought to the global collapse is now posing a threat to the WNBA. It's not as simple as one player skipping a game.
Does she need to improve drastically in terms of her efficiency, in particular inside the restricted area, month and a half, leading up to the Olympic break? And since then, one, because her assist numbers have been off the charts. And I would agree with you to a degree, Gary. Like, I do think that Caitlin Clark has really separated herself.
We have an outbreak on our hands that might bench whole squads. Imagine being excited to watch your favorite players take the court when you arrive at the arena, only to discover that half of the squad is stranded at home. It's the worst hassle for a coach and a fan together. This is where things become pretty complicated. There is more to the WNBA than just individual games. Every game matters in the competition for postseason places. We are no longer simply discussing fair play since COVID has the potential to sideline players left and right. We are discussing the season's overall integrity. Consider it. What would happen if a team lost its best player just before a big match? Alternatively, what would happen if an entire team was forced to forfeit due to insufficient healthy players? These days, it's more than just wins and losses. It concerns whether the season's outcomes will have any significance at all. Not to be overlooked are the players themselves. These ladies are people, not simply athletes. They have families and lives outside of the gym. They're not only taking a chance on a wounded ego or an injured ankle every time they step onto the parquet. They can be exposing themselves to a virus that has completely upended people's lives. The shocking thing is that the WNBA isn't giving up. This league has encountered difficulties in the past, but it has always triumphed. Do you recall the bubble period? These women were putting on some of the most ferocious basketball we've ever seen when the rest of the world was locking down. They're up against a new obstacle now, and you can guarantee they won't allow COVID make the decisions. The league has already demonstrated that it can adjust more quickly than a breakaway point guard. They're doing everything they can to keep the game going, from strict testing procedures to accommodating schedules. But surviving the pandemic isn't the only goal. It all comes down to strategy. The WNBA is considering the bigger picture in addition to today's games. How can player safety and competitive integrity be reconciled when the only thing that is known is uncertainty? How do you keep fans interested? This season will be defined by the answers to these questions. And let's face it, the way the league resolves this issue could have a lasting impact. We're no longer just watching hoops. We're watching history being written. So keep this in mind the next time you watch a WNBA game. You're witnessing more than simply outstanding athleticism. It's evidence of tenacity, flexibility, and the unwavering desire to preserve the game. These women are rewriting the rules on how to succeed in the face of hardship, not simply playing basketball. Rewriting playbooks, that is. The WNBA's most recent step is completely unexpected. When you combine two formidable rookies, an intense rivalry, and Barbie dolls, what do you get? Everyone is chatting about it because it's not your typical game night. Yes, you heard correctly. It's not just any game when the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky play each other in the near future. Both players and spectators are taking second looks at this pink-tinted spectacle. It's Barbie night, and it's going to transform the hardwood into a dream home.
And Caitlin, is that everything becomes a battle of which one is better.
The Indiana Fever are going to win the title.
Bam.
They've now reached 15 wins in the season. That's their most since 2016, which is coincidentally the last time that they made.
Imagine yourself entering the arena prepared for a fierce game of basketball, but a wash of pink hits you instead of simply the standard team colors. Every fan is leaving with their own Barbie doll, and the decor are just out of Barbie's Malibu mansion. It's gorgeous, kind of like Mattel and the WNBA had a baby. However, don't be duped by the glitter. It's not just about pink decor and adorable dolls. Angel Reese, one of the game's emerging stars, is the center of attention thanks to this brilliant marketing move. The league is creating a brand around their fresh talent rather than merely pushing a game. Speaking of talent, this matchup features rookie Marvel's Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese on their fourth meeting. Throughout the season, these two have been lighting up the court, and their rivalry has grown into something legendary. Observing the emergence of a new Magic vs. Bird is similar, except there are more three-pointers and excitement on social media. This is when the intriguing part comes in. Do you recall Chennedy Carter, who is the top scorer for Sky that has been injured? Her absence complicates an already interesting game. The dynamics change when Carter isn't on the court. These days, it's more about how these teams adjust when the chips are down than it is about Clark versus Reese. Sure, but it's just one game, right? Maybe on your mind. False. It's not only about Barbie night winners and losers, it all comes down to how this rookie rivalry is portrayed. Each and every shot, assist, and rebound adds up to the narrative these players are creating for themselves. Not to be overlooked are the supporters. They are participants in this pink-tinged extravaganza, not simply viewers. They're infusing the arena with a whole new energy while holding Barbie dolls. It appears as though the WNBA has adopted the WWE model, transforming a game into an occasion. It's the key question is how this Barbie feed background will impact the gameplay of the game itself. Will the players let the hoopla get to them, or will they channel it into motivation to perform better? What's more, how will this affect how we perceive women's basketball going forward? This definitely isn't your grandmother's WNBA. The league is taking chances and pushing the envelope, and it's paying off handsomely. They're not simply playing hoops, they're crafting stories, capturing moments, and elevating players to the status of icons. So the next time someone says that there's nothing spectacular about women's basketball, wait till they tell you about Barbie Night. It demonstrates that the WNBA is leading the way rather than merely following trends. You better believe we're headed for a crazy journey if this is only the beginning.